clicked on this video, then you are likely in the middle of binging other YouTube videos all about planning for 2025, setting goals for 2025, setting goals for the new year, getting back on track. You're probably still looking for inspiration, or maybe you're like me, you've already started your goals, you really haven't finished yet, and you're still looking for inspiration and some ideas, something to spark something new and different that you may want to incorporate. One thing about me is I love goal setting, and I love setting intentions, and I love planning things out. But today specifically, we're going to be talking about the things that you really need in order to have a successful 2025. Hello, beautiful friends. Welcome back to the channel, and Happy New Year. Oh my God, it's 2025. A new year is upon us, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, pause, breathe. It's gonna be okay. Whenever you're watching this video, if it's already January 1st or 2nd or 3rd or whatever date it is, do not feel like you are behind. As I said a couple of years ago, you don't have to hit the ground running. You can hit the ground crawling if you need to, because I know I have been. Yeah, we're still doing that. The thing about goal setting and setting intentions, in my personal opinion, is it's meant to be intentional. It is meant to be very thought out. I don't really think that it has to be one and done. Your goals and your plans are meant to evolve, and they're meant to be done over time. So I never believe that you're ever behind. I think you can always get back on track and set new goals whenever you want. As I like to say, life be lifing, and sometimes you need to make some adjustments. So don't feel like you're behind, and don't feel like you need to hit the ground running. Goal setting should be intentional. It should be done at your own pace. So if you haven't started yet, it is okay. I really hope that this video gives you the tips and the tools to help you to have a successful 2025 and to actually accomplish those goals. I've done several videos on goal setting and goal planning, setting a word for the year, setting intentions, making vision boards, visualization, all that stuff. Like, I love it. That is my jam. I've been doing it for the longest time, so I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of those things in this video, but I will link those in the description box so that you guys can check them out. But first, let's get through the basics, because I think it is important to go through what some of the essential steps are before you get into your goal setting. I am a big proponent of actually putting pen to paper and writing down your goals. Writing down your goals, to me, in my personal opinion, feels extremely intentional. I don't know about you, but what I write down, I remember. I like to color code things. And something about me is I think that writing actually helps you with the process of visualization. So when I'm writing something, I literally have images in my head, and I'm seeing myself accomplishing these things. Not only that, I'm seeing myself actually doing all of the steps that I need to do to make that happen. I'm foreseeing obstacles. Like, I can't even explain it. My brain just is like very imaginative, but I truly believe in the power of actually writing your goals down versus just typing them out in, like, I don't know, a notes app or some other form of digital planner. Next, you want to create a detailed plan to hold yourself accountable and to make things easier for you to track. So you can do this a couple of ways. I'm a hybrid girly. I love the Happy Planner. It's the one that I've been purchasing year after year. I try to get into digital planning. It kind of doesn't really work for me. So we have the planner, and then my digital component is Google Workspace. It works for me. I like it. So that's Calendar, Google Docs, Google Sheets, etc., and Asana. I really love the Asana app, and most recently Notion. So I'm not a Notion pro. I've tried several times to get into it. I really couldn't. Like, it just did not make sense for my brain, but I promised myself I would try, like, make a true effort and not judge it and give it up. So I started watching a couple of like Notion for beginner type of videos, and I set it up. I don't think I'm going to use it for everything. I'm not that person. But I think at the very least, I'll use it for like content creation type of stuff, specifically YouTube, acting stuff, and I might want to use it to track fitness, all of my fitness goals for this year, but we'll see. So like I said, I'm a hybrid. I like writing things down, so I do have a planner, and I'm going to use a combo of digital, so Google Workspace and Notion. Just do what works for you. Do the method that is going to help you be accountable and that is going to help you to stay on track. Because as I like to say, like, people are very like, oh, this is so aesthetic, you can make Notion aesthetic, you can make that aesthetic and cute and blah blah blah. And don't get me wrong, I like pretty things too, but I don't have like shiny object syndrome either. If something is pretty but not functional, like, I really don't care. I need it to work for me, and that's really what I think you should do as well. So find the method that works best for you. If you don't like planners, get the bullet journal or regular notebook. I like a dedicated notebook where you can actually write down all of your goals, all of your intentions, and you can create your own little method for, you know, keeping track of all of those things. So what I'm doing a little bit differently this year is I've always been pretty good at breaking down my goals. So like, I'll have a big goal and then I break that down into mini goals, and I will kind of go month by month, week by week. But what I've never done until recently is getting a little bit more specific and planning it out week by week, but like by day as well. So I found a template on the 12-week year. Now, full transparency, I have not read that damn book, okay? I want to, it's on my book list, but I haven't read it. I've watched videos, I've read blog posts, and it makes sense to me, just breaking things down basically by quarter. If you think about it, if you do like the first 12 weeks of the year and then 12 weeks after that, etc. So I tried to write down my 3 big goals. It was really difficult for me, to be honest with you. Like, I could not come up with a third goal, and I'm not forcing it. I truly do not believe in forcing anything. Just let it come to you. So for right now, I have 2 big personal goals, and like actor related type of things. I've broken that down in 12 weeks. So I found the template in Google Sheets, and I basically just customized it for my needs. I had a whole goal planning session even with the boy. The boy is my boyfriend, just in case anyone's curious, because I said that one time in a video and someone was like, who's this boy person? So I did have a couples session, and we wrote down our goals, and then we transferred that into the template that I customized. That's like the newer thing that I'm doing this year, which is breaking it out by 12 weeks. I'm gonna focus on the first 12 weeks of the year, see how that goes, and then I'll plan out the next 12 weeks. And for me and my brain and the overwhelm that I have sometimes, that just makes things a little bit easier, and I feel less anxious about it. But I'm curious to hear, like, let me know in the comments, what is your method, if you've done the 12-week year before or not, how deep you are into Notion or what have you. But that's like the main difference of what I've done for this year. So like I said, planning out your goals, creating templates, writing down your intentions, vision boards, all that stuff is great, but there are a couple of things that I personally believe you really need to have in place in order to see all of these things through and to hold yourself accountable. For me personally, I really want to get back to an older version of Miriam, but like level her up a little bit, because when I was thinking about it, like the past few years I've been a little bit, I don't want to say lazy, but I've been less anal, a little lax, a little bit like, you know what, I don't have to be so type A, let me just see what happens, let me go with the flow, let me no, that has not been working for me. I want to kind of come full circle, and full circle has been popping up a lot for me, so maybe that's what 2025 is all about. But I really want to come full circle to this older version of Miriam where I had all of these things in place and I honored them. I'm talking about routines, systems, and boundaries. So when I talk about systems or processes, whichever word you want to use, I'm talking about what do you have in place to actually help you to accomplish your goals. Systems is just a way for you to do things with ease. You do it so frequently that it just becomes second nature. It becomes part of your everyday and you don't even need to think about it. Systems help you to foresee any issues. It makes it easier to troubleshoot anything that comes up. So for example, for YouTube, I kind of have a system for how I like to create my videos, how I like to film them, edit them, etc. And it's the same thing for my actor stuff. There's a system that I have to make it easier for myself when it comes time to film a self-tape and to submit a self-tape. Now, systems and routines can kind of go hand in hand, but routines are like what's really going to help set you up for success. Routines provide structure. They help to make things less stressful, which in turn is better for your mental health. So you're not like super anxious and stressing all the time. Things become second nature, like I said, and it's just something to really help ground yourself. I am someone that has an amazing morning routine. I love my morning routine. I love that I get up early in the morning and I am writing in my gratitude journal. When I was doing the artist way, I was doing the morning pages and then I stopped and then I brought that back. But there are things that I like to do in the morning because I just feel that it helps set me up for success. It helps me feel less overwhelmed throughout the day and helps me be a little bit less anxious. But I will say my morning routine could do some work, but I need to focus on my night routine. So the secret to a good morning routine is a really good night routine. And I realized that I needed to get to bed a little bit earlier. I needed to turn off the devices. I needed to just wind down, do my skincare routine, you know, be home at a decent time so that I can take advantage of my morning routine in the way that I want to, because I want to get back to being my 5 a.m. girly on a more consistent basis. Now, like I said, everyone's life is different. My job now is different. What I am responsible for is different, but at least like 3 to 4 times a week I want to be getting up at 5, because I know that the mornings are best for me to maximize my time to pour into myself before I have to give pieces of myself to the rest of the world. That's what I mean when I talk about routines. I have a routine for like prepping for auditions. There are just certain things I like to do. So really think about what systems and routines you need to have in place in order to help you accomplish these goals. Now, the last thing, but I think is the most important thing, boundaries. I used to be really good with boundaries, and then I sucked for a very, very long time. And then I got good at setting boundaries, and now I need to get better at like protecting and honoring my boundaries and the promises that I make to myself, because I realize that when you just are not strict with your boundaries, it really interferes with everything else. Boundaries is how you show yourself love. Boundaries is how you show up for yourself, which then in turn helps you to show up for other people. I truly feel that having strong boundaries is what is going to help you show up for yourself, help you to accomplish those goals, those promises that you are making to yourself, the changes that you want to make for this year. Like if you truly want 2025 to be different, you can't do the same things that you did in 2024. And that's really how I came into this year. Like 2024 was really hard for me on a personal level, and I was getting really hard on myself for a bit there. And then I finally was just like, you know what, like maybe the point for me right now isn't to like do all of these things to keep up with what everyone else is doing, especially from like the acting standpoint. Like the industry is so different right now, and I just wasn't in the headspace to like take the classes and save the money for the headshots and do this and do that. I'm like, I'm in a grieving stage. I'm in healing. I think the only thing I'm supposed to do right now is just be, and like not force myself to be anything different, anything more than what I'm capable of giving right now. I truly felt like this is my year to be in my feelings, and when I want to cry, I'm gonna cry. And if I don't feel like doing something, I'm not gonna do it. I could push myself, but I could only push myself to a certain degree. I really felt like this year was more about honoring my emotions and tending to the things that came up when they came up. But I also knew that if I wanted 2025 to be different, I had to do things differently. I couldn't do the same things before and expect anything to be different. And that was like an open conversation I had to have with, you know, my boyfriend. And we're talking about boundaries, right? I said to him, hey, if I say to you, I'm gonna sit down today and I'm gonna do a YouTube video, I want to film it, and I want to film it between these hours, and he happens to be home, he's like, let's sit down and watch this documentary that I saved. I'm like, that's up to me to honor that boundary and that promise to myself and say, no, let me film my video and then we can watch that movie. Do you know what I mean? So anyways, I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys and that you feel empowered with the tools that you need to have in place to help you accomplish all of the goals that you have for 2025. If there's anything in this video that you want me to expand on and create another video about, let me know what that is in the comments. Let me know how you're planning your goals, how you're setting intentions, what method you're using. I'm always like so curious to learn about what other people are doing and how it's working for them. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. Happy New Year. I hope this one is the best one yet.